Hello, beautiful spiritual beings. It's B from Being Blissfully Zen. Welcome back to my channel, and may you open up to your full spiritual potential now. In the last video, we talked about a kind of exhaustion that can arise on the awakening path, a deeper fatigue that doesn't always make sense on the surface. If you haven't watched part 1, I gently recommend starting there because it will help you understand why this is happening. But today, we're going to move into something just as important: how to support yourself while you're moving through it. Because this phase isn't something you push through, it's something you learn to move with. And the way you meet yourself here can make all the difference. So instead of trying to fix the exhaustion or make it go away, we're going to explore a few gentle ways to support your body, your energy, and your inner process. Not a long list, just a few simple practices that you can return to again and again. The first is something I like to call conscious rest. Not just lying down, not just scrolling or distracting yourself, but intentional, aware rest. This might look like lying down or sitting comfortably, closing your eyes, and simply allowing your body to soften. No goal, no outcome. Just noticing your breath, not controlling it, just observing it. Letting your shoulders drop, letting your jaw unclench, letting your body know it's safe to relax. Even 5 or 10 minutes of this can begin to signal to your nervous system that it doesn't have to stay in a state of effort. And over time, this kind of rest goes deeper than sleep. It becomes restorative on a much more subtle level. The second practice is creating gentle boundaries with your energy. During this phase, you may notice that certain environments, conversations, or even responsibilities feel more draining than they used to. And instead of pushing through that, you can begin to honor it. This doesn't have to be extreme. It might look like spending a little less time in overstimulating spaces, giving yourself permission to step away from conversations, or simply choosing quiet when you need it. This isn't about withdrawing from life. It's about recognizing that your system is more sensitive right now, and protecting your energy is part of supporting your transformation. The third is listening to your body without overriding it. So often we've been conditioned to ignore the signals, to keep going, even when something in us is asking us to slow down. But during this phase, your body becomes a guide. So when you feel tired, instead of immediately resisting it, you might pause and gently check in. What do I need right now? And allowing the answer to be simple. Rest, water, stillness, space. The more you listen, the more trust begins to build between you and your body. And that trust becomes incredibly grounding. And the fourth is softening the pressure you place on yourself. This is a big one, because even as everything is slowing down internally, the mind can still hold on to old expectations. The need to be productive, to stay consistent, to keep up with what you used to be able to do. But this phase is asking something different of you. Not more effort, but more compassion, more understanding, more allowance. You are not operating from the same energy right now, and that's okay. In fact, it's part of the process. So instead of measuring yourself by output, you might begin to measure yourself by presence, by how gently you're meeting yourself in each moment. As you begin to integrate these practices, you may notice something subtle begin to shift. Not necessarily that the exhaustion disappears overnight, but that your relationship to it changes. There's less resistance, less confusion, and more understanding, more space, more ease. Because what you're moving through isn't meant to be forced. It's meant to be supported. There may still be days when your energy dips, moments where you feel like you're not doing enough, or where your mind tries to pull you back into old patterns. And that's okay. Each time you notice that, you have an opportunity to return to yourself, to soften, to listen, to allow. This is not a step backwards. It is a deepening, a recalibration, a quiet reorganization of how you exist within yourself. And even though it may not always feel comfortable, there is something very real unfolding beneath the surface. So if you're in this space right now, moving through this kind of exhaustion, be gentle with yourself. You don't have to rush it. You don't need to figure it all out. You don't need to force your way forward. You are allowed to slow down. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to move through this in your own timing. And these small practices, they're not here to fix you. They're here to support you as you move through something that is already happening. I hope that these gentle techniques help you feel a little more supported, a little more grounded, and a little less alone in this process. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and consider subscribing to my channel being blissfully zen for more spiritually awakening tips. Thank you for being here. So until next time, beautiful spiritual beings, be blissful, be zen, and I'll see you soon.